out in the market. But let's focus back to markets and discuss the way forward and all the factors which are impacting the market right now. Mehrab Irani, investment manager at Tata Investment Corp, joins us on the show. Well, Mehrab, big news and stock moving stories of the day remained NBFCs. What did you make of the latest norms by RBI on NBFCs and especially the stock reaction?
Yeah, good evening, Ajay. Thank you for calling me. If you see, yes, the RBI has changed some norms about the NBFCs. Like example, they have made that within 3 months, if it doesn't pay the loan, then they have to declare it as an NPA. Also, they have raised the provisioning on standard assets from 0.25% to 0.40%. Plus, they have also made it that tier 1 capital over a phased manner from 7.5%. Currently, they have to increase it to 10%. So overall, what I see is that this is systematically very positive what RBI has done. I think because NBFCs are the comparatively a big risk to the system, and whatever the RBI has done, it is positive. I think for the NBFC sector, for the good NBFCs, this is also a positive move. So within the NBFC sector, I think I would be comparatively more positive, say, on the housing finance sector. I think that sector is doing very good. The potential for growth is very high, and once interest rates start coming down, I think the demand will further pick up. So housing finance is one sector which I would be positive. Also, I would be positive on other consumer finance, etc. companies. I would be slightly cautious, say, on the gold financiers, etc. because if we see gold prices have already corrected by almost 20% in Indian rupee terms also over the past couple of quarters, and there I think I would be slightly cautious in the space.
You know, Mehrab, somewhere the market seems to be stuck in this 8350, 8400 range. What's your call, and by when do you think we're going to break out of it?
Yeah, if you see today the market is trading around 83 between this range for quite some time. If you see the valuations, we are trading at almost around 18 times current year earnings. If you see the results, almost 80% of the companies have declared the second quarter results. The top line growth was around 4.5%. The EBITDA growth was around 7% with a slight reduction in the margins. And also if you see the bottom line growth was around 9%, which was slightly below expectation. So what I feel is that in the current year, what analysts are expecting around 15% growth for FY 2015 might actually not come, and it may be slightly on the lower side. However, at the same time, I think for FY 2016, we would expect around 15 to 17% earnings growth, and I think that is supporting the valuations at around 15 times forward earnings. We are still within the long-term range. Also, if you see the flows have been very good, the liquidity in the market has been very good. If you see, FIs have almost pumped in some $3 billion over the past few weeks, and even DIs have become very positive, and there also a lot of money is coming. Also on the macro front, if you see, a lot of positive things are happening. Like for example, crude has corrected by almost more than 30% over the past few weeks, which is very positive for India. If you see interest rates, the actual secondary 10-year GSEC rate has corrected by almost 100 basis points over the past couple of months. It is currently around 8.15%. So that is another very positive move. And I think inflation is also coming down. It was around 6.5%. And RBI is actually building up inflation expectations. And I think it is trying to trim down, trying to see that the inflation expectations moderate. So that is another positive thing which the RBI is doing. And also I think on the government front also a lot of positive things are happening. A couple of days back, 21 new ministers have come in, and I think a lot of good portfolios have been given to good people. There are a lot of technocrats, IIM, IIT, MBAs, CAs, etc. I think now once the government starts with the reforms, maybe it may be GST, it may be urban land ceiling, also it may be some modernization of railways, etc. So I think that all would be positive, and it would support valuations and support the markets.
Right. You know, many would say, Mehrab, earnings so far failed to impress. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think earnings have slightly disappointed, particularly if you see in some, like if you see last year, almost a lot of the earnings was also coming from rupee depreciation. So that has not happened this year. So that is one of the factors why earnings have actually come down in this quarter. Also, if you see, there was a lot of expectations from the infrastructure space. So there also I think some disappointments have come down, and it is rightly so. Whenever the economy turns around, it takes around a couple of quarters for the infrastructure sector to recover. It doesn't happen immediately. So there the expectations were, I think, on a slightly higher side, and there also it has been slightly come down. Also I think certain large cap IT stocks have also slightly disappointed the earnings. So yes, it was slightly muted. On the positive side, I think private banks have reported very good numbers, and they continue to do so. Their margins are very stable, their CASA ratio is improving, and also the valuations remain decent. So that is one good space which is over there.
Right. Mehrab, you know, expectations are running very high, especially from New Delhi. Ahead of the winter season of the parliament and post the bullish bites coming in from the newly elected ministers. What is the probability? Which are the important reforms or bills which could be taken up this winter session of the Parliament in your view?
Yes, I agree. I think the expectations have built up, and in fact, I think a lot of the ministers have only built up the expectations among the common man. And I think now it is time for the Modi government to actually deliver. Everything is in place. Whether you may see the GST is there, whether the modernization of railways is there, whether the land ceilings are there. I think all those are some positive factors, and I think something should come out of the. At least the hope is that something will come out of the winter session.
All right, Mehrab, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for taking time out for us this evening. Okay, let's keep the market opinion going.